You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time to light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We gotta party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We gotta party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't calm down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We gotta party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My first mute starting right off. I touched the mute button right there for the 7,823rd time. Good to see you all. Thank you all for joining me. Today is May 8th, 2024. It is 11:43 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I'm thankful. All right. I couldn't believe I started out muted. I got my mute in early. Yes. I got the mute in early. All right. Talking about Sebastian Rogers. Thank you, Pine. Thank you so much. It's very sweet of you. Um, anyone else buy their child a Fisher Price rocket ship? I've been putting this together for 2 days. Someone let me borrow a man for a few hours. Oh my God, Erica. Note to self, don't buy a Fisher Price rocket ship. Thank you. Um, that's those are always fun putting things together, isn't it? So, okay, well, we're talking about Sebastian Rogers' case. Yesterday, we learned that Seth passed his independent polygraph test that Nancy Grace show paid for, and he passed with flying colors. And Nancy made no bones about it that everything was fair and all of that. Now, in my opinion, did it break down on the way to the moon? Oh, hope not, token. But I believe, in my opinion, it's time for Chris and Katie to do their polygraph. Now, you guys know I always say that I don't really put much into polygraphs, but to me, it is the point. Why isn't he doing it? It's the point, right? Ginger Snaps, thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate your support. If you can't mute, then it ain't cute. Amen, sister. Amen. I agree with that. Absolutely. Hold on 1 second. Let's go do it again. Ah, sorry. Sorry for your ears. There we go. What if you can't mute? It ain't cute. Michelle, thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate it. Thank you, my dear, for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to remember that I am the mute king. Um, what's up with Chris calling into another show trying to disguise his voice and pretending to be elderly? Because it's creepy. It's creepy. Why would, you know, it's kind of like what's up with Candace and Dawn playing a prank that Don was arrested. Remember that if you remember the Summer Wells case. What is up with these parents who are playing pranks while their child is missing? I will never understand that. Justin, I think uh Katie hiding and not speaking has to do with Seth. She's afraid to see him in person because she knows he will see right through her and know she's lying. She can't face him, in my opinion. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Listen, there is nobody on earth that knows you better than someone you have been intimate with for a long time and someone that you share a child with, right? Nobody knows you like your husband, your wife, your ex-husband, your ex-wife, your long-term boyfriend, your long-term girlfriend, your long-term ex-boyfriend, or your long-term ex-girlfriend, right? Nobody. And you cannot pull the wool over their eyes. You can't bullshit them. And in my opinion, that is exactly why Katie will not speak with Seth. Having a child missing, it's the time to play around on YouTube. Yep. Yep. And I absolutely agree with that, Bubble Beth. I absolutely, Bubbly Beth, sorry. I absolutely agree with that. So, that is, I agree. We're going to just refresh Chris on things that he said about the polygraph and speak about that. We are going to be taking some calls today. If you want to call in, talking about this case, 307-228-4906. You're welcome to call in. Chris should do more voices. That was hilarious. Actually made me think he's innocent. Interesting power packs. It's the time to go to Cracker Barrel. It's the time to go to Mississippi. It's time to go sit on motorcycles. It's obviously the time to prank call too. I know. One second. One second. Thank you for calling. Hold on. Something's wrong with my phone. One second. I don't know what the hell. All right. Try now.
Hi, how are you, Justin?
Good. How are you, dear?
I'm good. This is Rhonda from Florida. Once again, I just absolutely love you and your channel.
Thank you, my dear.
I'm actually going to subscribe later.
Oh.
Get a membership, and you'll be the only one I'm a member to on YouTube.
Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you, my love.
Yeah, last night when he was pretending to be Billy Bob Thornton or whatever it was that he thought he was.
Was that last night?
I believe it was last night, but I'm not certain. I'm pretty certain it was last night when he called up and pretended, and he carried on for quite a while.
Oh no,
why?
That was a few days ago, I think.
Oh, okay. Was it?
Yeah.
But why are the authorities not looking at him closer? There's something seriously wrong.
Well, I mean, just to be fair, it's not illegal for anyone to have fun or be silly whenever someone, goes missing or dies, but it does make you, it's not a normal thing, right? It's not normal, but it's not illegal. So police can't really do anything about that per se, but
no, but they definitely should be calling him in and asking him a lot more questions.
I mean, I agree. I mean, the thing I think, they should have been standing beside of the police in the beginning with the press conferences. They should have been standing by the police with their last press conference, but you don't see that with them.
And now that the photo came out as not real, and Chris was so adamant right from the moment it wasn't him, that makes me believe Chris knows a lot more about where Sebastian is, because he was so cocksure that's not him.
Yeah, he said from the get-go, he said that's not him. And
Now,
it's kind of like one of those things, you don't look for what's not missing either, you know.
right.
Um
And what's up with this Mr. Chris? Have you ever heard of a stepchild having to call the parent Mr.?
no, no, no,
That I found really,
not
really
a
strange.
parent or not a family member. No, I've never heard of someone having to call their stepdad or another family. Like, Katie said, Sebastian said, "No, ma'am," at 10 o'clock at night. No, ma'am.
Yeah,
Who calls their
I didn't
mother
buy that
ma'am?
either.
Who calls their mother ma'am?
Yeah, I mean, I have sons. I'm in the South. It's yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. But
Yes.
when we're at home, it's relaxed.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I teach, I'm Southern, so I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I say that to someone, you know, do you want lettuce on your burger? No, ma'am. That's
Right.
thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for opening the door, whatever. That is someone that is not inside the family. That is not a normal thing to call your mother 15. I mean, people's going to be like, well, it's just a respect thing. It's not a normal
Response
phrase.
to the bump in the night.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's just not a normal phrase to call your mother ma'am.
Yeah, and ever since I heard Chris himself saying, "Oh, he calls me, Mr. Chris," and that just seemed really, really strange. The more and more this case goes on, I mean, I'm holding out less hope, obviously, at this point, now that the photo's been debunked.
Mm-hmm.
I was really holding on to hope. I'm going to be absolutely heartbroken. I love this child so much, and so does everybody else, I believe, because we
Absolutely.
know things haven't been good. But at this point, I really think Chris delivered Katie an ultimatum,
Mm-hmm.
and she made a choice. She made her choice. And unfortunately, she chose a man over her son, is my thoughts. This is just my feeling. I'm not saying it's fact.
Sure.
But from all of her actions and his actions, she chose him over the child. But the sad part of it is that marriage will not last anyways. So she made a bad choice.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with that. Yeah. I think Chris did not want Sebastian there. I think he wanted his daughter, but I think something happened in December when Faith was visiting Seth. Sorry, not Seth. Sorry, Chris, Katie, and Sebastian when she was there for Christmas. I think something happened. I don't know, what Chris
Right.
is claiming or thought perhaps Sebastian did, but I think after that he said no more around my daughter. And he's going to go live with his dad or I'm gone. Chris saying that because Chris is like, I want my daughter, but I can't have him around. Can't have her around Sebastian for whatever reason.
Yeah, I agree.
Something happened in
now, can
December.
you answer? Yeah, maybe you can answer a question for me.
Sure.
I heard somewhere, because there's so much stuff floating around about this.
Mm-hmm.
Did Chris actually say if we knew what Sebastian had done, we would not be looking for him?
No, I don't think he's ever said that that I'm aware of. No.
All right. Okay,
No.
I heard that floating around, and that really kind of just got me. And I'm glad to hear that you have not heard that, because
no, I haven't heard
that's
that.
really disturbing itself.
No, the only thing.
Thank you for clearing that up.
The only thing that I've heard kind of like related to that was when he was on um crime, I can't think of their name right now. I apologize. Trish from Crime. She's got a website, Web Sleuths. Sorry. He
Okay.
said that if we were millionaires or whatever, we would have had Sebastian back by now.
Right.
So
And that seemed a little bit weird, that statement as well. I mean, what would money have to do with, why are you doing, what? Where is he?
right,
But
money doesn't have anything about getting your child back. I don't, unless he would be potentially held hostage or whatever. But I've been watching true crime and doing true crime for a couple years now. I've been watching true crime for decades. But um how often do you see a reward fund actually doing anything? You really
right.
don't. You really don't. I mean, it's a good
No.
initiative, but you just don't ever hear of anyone like, oh yeah, I got this reward for uh telling on someone, that
Yeah.
I knew something. But I mean, it's, if it just helps one, that just needs to help one time is all it needs. So
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know if Chris and Katie were ever taken and, questioned separately?
oh, I'm sure that they have been questioned separately, or at least attempted. But this is the thing that we forget. I understand we all want to just take them down town to TBI and just say TBI, make them talk, right? But
Yeah, interrogate them until they speak.
right, but there's a constitutional right, and you don't have to
Yeah,
speak.
I agree.
You just
No,
don't
I
have
don't
to.
think.
I mean, as much as
Yeah,
I would,
but the great thing about. Oops, I'm sorry.
no, I was just say, as much as I would like for that to happen, in my opinion, it's just the way we're set up to do things.
Yeah, well, the great thing about this is Chris keeps running his mouth, and eventually he's gonna slip up big time.
Oh, I think that they have slipped up several times, in my opinion. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
things that they
yeah.
have,
There's a lot of lies, but
yeah,
yeah, a lot of lies.
yeah,
And her responses are just so bizarre. I mean, I understand Stockholm syndrome. I understand, being controlled, but she's, I don't know. Step up for your child, regardless.
hmm you would think.
And I think that's what makes all of us so mad is that we love Sebastian more than it appears she does, even though I'm sure she loves her child.
Of course, she
But
loves her
we're
child.
showing more empathy and love towards this child, than she is.
What it's just an odd thing. I mean, I don't doubt that Katie loves Sebastian. Uh, I know she loves her son. I know
Oh,
Seth loves
absolutely.
his son, Sebastian. I don't know about Chris, but that's my opinion.
Well, listen,
But
he's calling him Mr. Chris, after all these years. Come on now.
yeah, I just don't.
That's not a father.
It's not. I just don't see why a mother, particularly, isn't doing more. She's not working now at all.
I'd be frantic. I'd be on every news outlet. I'd be out doing everything I could.
Well, she's certainly not, you know, Natalie Holloway's mother, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah.
she's
Everybody does respond different, but this is just so bizarre.
no, listen, not everyone responds the same, but every parent that, in my opinion, looks for their child.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing. It is natural. Like I was saying the other day, if you have if your cat has kittens or something and you take them away just for a minute to they get milk on them or something, and you're just wiping them down or something, the cat goes crazy. She wants her
Yeah.
baby, and what is wrong with
Yeah.
some of these parents that
I think
don't want to?
her effect might be because he's gone, as in passed away, and they're responsible, and that's why she's not looking the way she's acting the way she is. So flat is maybe she just not looking because he's gone. She knows he's gone.
I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. I don't know, but the story that they have said that, I mean, either Katie has no motherly instincts whatsoever, or ever had any motherly instincts whatsoever, or there's something more to this. I mean, if you don't check on your son, your autistic child who has, a pocket of fluid in his head, and he sounds like there's a thud, and you don't check on him before bed, and especially during the thud, and you're not looking for your child when he's missing, you're not advocating for him, either something, or you just don't have a motherly instinct in your bones. And I don't believe that. I believe Katie is overall, she has been she's done the best she could under the circumstances, being with Chris. But is she perfect? God, no, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, nobody
but
is.
nobody is, right?
Yeah. I've got a 29-year-old son who has learning disabilities, high on the autism spectrum. And he still lives with me, but he does his own thing, his own life, very functionable. But even at 29, I still at night go check, is he in the house? Is he in bed? Good night. Lock my doors. I mean, still at this age, I check on him and lock my house up.
Of course.
I can't imagine hearing a thud and not checking on him, even without any issues.
Yes.
I just, it blows my mind.
Whoops. Hey, my dear, I'm getting
your time so much.
Thank you. I'm getting another call. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Have a great
You
day.
too. Bye-bye.
Call Reality Will.
Clutch your pearls.
Good morning.
Clutch your pearls. Grab your tea kettle.
How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. I sent you a link.
Okay.
Can you play it?
I
texted it to you.
Okay.
It's
Is it Nancy Grace?
Yeah, it was on Nancy Grace, yeah.
Questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. What is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what.
Oh,
did you hear that?
My God.
There you go. Let's talk about that. I'll let you go so we can talk about this.
All right.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right, honey. Thank you. Wow.
Parents Tessa Clendenning and Anthony Daniel.
That's
At the time of our story, she had a.
So that would. I heard a rumor Katie is pregnant. Well, I doubt it. I doubt it. And you're going to hear that with every missing case. there's so many rumors that would explain a thud. How would it explain a thud? Yeah, we'll rehear that. Now, remember, Katie said he didn't like to sleep. Didn't like to sleep.
What he told me.
The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. What is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
The following are paraphrased questions and
I think, in my opinion, I think he was probably overstimulated from that weekend. He was probably overstimulated. Clutch your pearls.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Andrew. Good. How are you?
Touching on what you just played,
Mhm.
when it comes to overstimulation and sleep aids, it's best to give them it a bit early so it has a bit more time to go in to help the child sleep, especially when they're overstimulated, and not give them twice the dose.
And not give him what?
Because
And not give
and
him.
not give them more. Just give them just give the child the usual, but a bit early, so that way because it's going to take a bit longer with the child overstimulated for it to take effect.
Mm.
And that's probably why Sebastian was up at midnight, is because it was not the right dosage.
Maybe that's why she said, just go to sleep. Go to sleep. I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. And then he wasn't going to sleep.
Yep, either that or she didn't give, or either that or she gave him too little and it wasn't working. It could go either way with that. It's a very difficult subject when it comes especially when the child is overstimulated. It's a bit touch and go on either side. If you give them too much, it could cause harm and not work at all. Or if you give them too little, it's not going to take the proper effect and make them a bit drowsy, but stimulate them a bit more.
Right. Wow. Sad.
Sorry, I have an autistic child.
Right.
So.
Right. Does your is it common for autistic children to not sleep a lot?
Debating on the level.
Right.
There's different levels of autism, debating on the level.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I see that have most difficulty with not sleeping are the nonverbal higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not uncommon for like a level 2 on the spectrum to have sleeping issues. It's more heard of in a level 3, which is a nonverbal.
Mm. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling.
Not a problem.
All right. Bye, Andrew.
You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
All right. She said, go to bed, but he did. But then she says he was awake. Which one was it? So first, and listen, I think she wanted him to go to bed at 9 a.m. That's what she wanted. Because she just says he went to bed at 9 o'clock. What 15-year-old goes to bed at 9 o'clock? Wait. 15-year-olds don't go to bed at 9 o'clock. Was there a scent in the house? I mean, there's obviously going to be a scent of him in the house. But yeah, 15-year-olds don't go to bed at 9 o'clock. And maybe she gave it to him early. Maybe he was overstimulated after they got home that evening, because it had been a very busy weekend for all of them. And maybe he did go to bed at 8 o'clock even. He was just really sleepy or whatever because of the medicine. And maybe from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, Chris was on the phone with her. Oh my goodness, Maurice, thank you so much. Thank you, beautiful Justin, for all you do. Commend your complete respect for victims and deserving families, taking us on road trips. I love your facial expressions. I LOL so hard. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you to pieces. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm with you. You freakies. Thank you so much. The lines are open, 307-228-4906. Love to hear your thoughts and or theories. My stepson is extremely ADHD, and when he was first diagnosed, he wouldn't sleep at all. I used to give him melatonin, but I quit, and he's still on meds for ADHD, but no sleep meds. Hey, Donna. I think he was just probably overstimulated. And I think Katie was probably wanting to have mommy wine time. Oh, I just thought of something. Hello? Call back, caller. I don't know, something happened. Call back, caller. I just thought of something. I wonder if Katie wanted some alone mommy time, or if she wanted allegedly some time with a mister, and she didn't want, this is just pure speculation what I'm saying, so don't take this as a fact, but I wonder if she wanted a mister to come and visit her, and she didn't want Sebastian to wake up and see anything, and she overdid it. Yes, a little neighbor time. Clutch your pearls. Oh, one second, my dear. One second. There you go. Sorry. Hello? Clutch your pearls.
Hello.
Hi.
This is YouTube Grandma.
Hey, YouTube Grandma.
How are you?
I'm good.
You guys are all amazing. Everybody in your chat, you're sweet. You're one of my favorites. But I just have to say is I have 4 grandchildren that are autistic. They're all different. You know what I mean? So
Right.
neither one of them are the same. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
My thing is, if Sebastian didn't get that much attention anymore, they can be overly happy, and even if you give medicine, if you're over happy, and it won't let you settle down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he wasn't used to going that many places all in one day, or maybe he just wanted to spend more time with his mommy. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just,
I think overstimulation is, from what I've talked to people that have, children with autism or a family member with autism, they just said, that was like 2 days in a row of just, bowling and shopping and
it was. I thought it was all in one day.
what they
That
did
they did all
Saturday and Sunday. They went to stores and went bowling and eating and all of that. So it was just like a weekend packed full of stuff and people around them and all of that. So which can be very difficult for
Now, do you think we still got, in your opinion, still have a chance of him still being alive?
I think that there's always hope, but I think at this point it would be nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah. This case, Madeline's case, Summer's case, they've all gotten to me and stuff. Not really got to me, but I lay there at night and just think of different things. I don't know if you do the same, but
oh yes,
stuff. But I'll let you go because I don't want to hold the phone up. But I just wanted to let you know. I want to let you know that you're amazing.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
Your chat is amazing, and I'm blessed to be part of your family.
Absolutely.
But
thank you.
I will talk to you later, Jason. I was going to call you Jason.
I've been called Jason my whole life. Don't worry about it. I'm so used to it.
That, babe.
No, you're fine.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, babe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you for calling, caller. That was great. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. For those of you, let me just play that one more time for those of you that just came in.
Responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. What is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. What is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
So that right there, which is very, very interesting. To me, that would be, again, I don't put much in a lie detector test, but that would be an interesting question to ask Katie with a lie detector test. Now, Chris said that he would take a lie detector test Name the time and the place. Well, Nancy did name the time and the place, and Chris makes up an excuse that he took one for TBI, went ahead and took one for TBI, and that they said that they why is that not working? That he wasn't sure if she should take one for Nancy. It would take a lot to overdose. It depends. It depends what she was giving him. And it depends on what she was giving him and if she mixed medication as well. He was already taking what was the medication he was taking at night? Was it Respirator? Yeah, that's what it was. There we go. Hold on. Let's check this out. Let me look up something real quick. So look at this real quick. Unintentional of high doses of Risperdal can cause significant side effects, which include in children that can overdose treatment. Overdose management includes close continuous monitoring and treatment. Less than 12 years of age and ingestion of 1 milligram should be considered potentially toxic. Wow. 12 years and older and ingestion of 5 milligrams can be considered potentially toxic. Interesting. Okay, let's look at this, what Nancy said here.
In the last hours, the bio dad and grandparents of missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers hold a vigil where everyone vows that Sebastian will be brought home safe and sound. Will he? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories as we continue joining in the search for Sebastian. First of all, take a listen to this. Have the two of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you?
Now, Chris.
Your polygraph.
I did.
That's not exactly what has been stated before by Sebastian Rogers' stepfather,
Tell
Mr.
Nancy.
Proudfoot. Listen. And Mr. Proudfoot, you have volunteered to take a poly?
Yes, ma'am.
If I were to set up a poly for you, would you take it?
Name the place and time, ma'am. I'll be there.
Joining me in All-Star panel to make sense of what we're hearing right now. But first to Dave Mack, crimeonline.com, investigative reporter. Dave Mack, isn't it true that crimeonline.com did set up a polygraph?
Absolutely true.
And what happened?
What's Nancy?
Chris Proudfoot told us that he could not take it now. He wanted to, but he can't because the TBI told him not to.
Chris. Now, you know that is not true. You know that is absolutely not true. TBI is not going to give you advice. Why wouldn't they want you to take a lie detector test? It has nothing to do with TBI. It has nothing to do with TBI whatsoever. It can't be held up in court, so it can't go against you. Either way, it can't go against you. It can't go against you in court, but it can make you look a certain way in some people's eyes. You can take a polygraph, Mr. Polyfoot. I think you're afraid of that happening. That's what I think.
It's my understanding to Cheryl McCollum joining us. Cheryl McCollum, founder and director of the Cold Case Research Institute, forensics expert, and host of Zone 7 podcast. Cheryl, it's my understanding that specifically Sebastian's stepfather said he could no longer do interviews, including with us, because he had been instructed so by the TBI. And Jackie, correct me if I'm wrong, that they did not want any of his interviews to interfere with the investigation, and that even though he had agreed to do our polygraph, he now says that the TBI is going to set up their own polygraph, and he can't take our polygraph until after that. And once he does that, then, quote, we'll take it from there. What do you make of it?
You know, you and I always go back to Mark Class. If you want to make sure that the law enforcement has everything they need to get rid of looking at you, you can do that. He can set up a private polygraph through an attorney. He can take yours. He can demand that TBI give him one so that they can stop focusing on him and this polygraph business and move on. And
Yeah. So why are you not doing it? Why are you not doing it? That is the question, right? Oh, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you so much, September. Thank you. Appreciate you. My son is level 1 autistic ADHD. Some medications he was on were non-stimulants and had an adverse effect on him. More hyper. Interesting. I can see, yes, medications doing the opposite. Yeah. Absolutely, ATS. Big red flag. Yeah. Tell you what, if I was Chris, I would have been running, thanking Nancy. Thank you so much for letting me prove out here to the public that I'm going to take this lie detector test. Regardless, I'm going to take this lie detector test because I want to show the public that I am innocent. But he's like, TBI says I can't. No, they didn't. They would never, ever say something like that.
and find out where Sebastian is at. Period.
I mean, Cheryl McCollum, you and I can go right now and pay for a polygraph.
Bingo.
They'd be happy to take our money. Hey, just put it on a credit card and take a polygraph.
TBI would be happy to accept those results. A polygraph is a polygraph. And the examiner, that's who you're relying on. So you've got somebody that's going to be willing to testify and put their reputation on the line. Again, he could make this happen today if he wanted to.
Let's go straight out to Joseph Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon, and star of a hit series, Body Bags with Joe Scott Morgan. Joe Scott, thank you for being with us. You know what? This is like static in my ears because I know tick tock, tick tock. As long as we focus on the stepfather and the mother, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, I'm losing time. If by some stretch of the imagination, Sebastian is still alive, if he's alive, he won't be much longer. What do the stats show? What is your opinion? I need it, and I need it now, Joe Scott.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we're looking at is this idea of time. We're talking about a young man that went missing back in February.
Hold on, I want to answer this. Boarding school. Where's the boarding school, Sugar? I don't know what you're referring to. I had to cut anything with the red dye stuff in my son's diet. I don't know why, but anything like juice like that makes him bounce off the walls. Yes, Dispatch Crystal. The red, I think it's red 40, is banned from most parts of the world. That red dye is because it will make people, children, bounce off the walls. It is a petroleum based. Anything you see that's like a red drink or anything, run from it. Run from it. Nobody should be drinking the red 40 or food products. Chris is working overtime online trying to divert the attention off himself and Katie, but not put that energy into looking for Sebastian. Yes. Yeah. And pets. Yeah. It's not good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The red 40 is particularly bad.
Nancy, late February. And as we move down that timeline, the odds are stacked against him. I think one of the most important pieces that's kind of arisen out of this, other than all of the comments that have been made to this point relative to polygraphs and those sorts of things, are those eyeglasses. And I love the shot the producers put up of him standing in front of
The red 40, just so people know, allergens, migraines, and mental disorders in children. Red dye 40 is widely used food dye that is linked to a host of physical and mental health issues, including allergies, migraines, and mental disorders in children. It can cause hypersensitivity reactions, including ADHD, and has been found to be contaminated with carcinogens like benzodiazepine. Red 40 has also been linked to inflammatory bowel disease and mind storms. I don't know what mind storms is. While the Food and Drug Administration considers red dye 40 safe for consumption, other research suggests that it may increase hyperactivity, attention related symptoms in children with ADHD. And it is horrible. Don't drink, eat anything ever with the red 40 in
that
it, particularly.
rack of eyeglasses, because that's going to tell the tale. I think if they can specifically tie those to him, that's very important. They can take that script off of those glasses, determine if they are his.
I don't think they're his glasses, Joe Scott. I don't think they're his glasses.
At this point in time, you have to work with what you have. If they're not his, then that points us down a different road, doesn't it? And
Okay,
sometimes,
let's go with they're not his glasses. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that, Joe Scott. I
yep,
was three.
Absolutely. It's in Yoplait yogurt, like the strawberry or anything like that. It is everywhere, the red 40 is. And it's just to make it look like it's red, like strawberries. It does nothing for the taste. It is only just to make it look more appealing. It's a marketing thing, is all it is. That's it.
Thrilled. I mean, uh, you may want to jump in on this, Cheryl. Remember, we're not having high tea at Windsor Castle, but it's a sad day when you're excited, when you're thrilled. You think you find a missing boy's glasses. Why was I thrilled? Because it was a clue for a moment, and then the TBI confirmed
And
they're
lots
not
of
his glasses.
snacks.
So I see where you're going, Joe Scott, but it's a sad day when we're all thrilled to find a pair of beat up glasses on the side of the road. But I was. So where does that leave me, Joe Scott? As we're all like, take a Polly, take a Polly. Why won't he take a Polly? What really happened? Was he at work? Was he not at work? While we're all gnashing our teeth and switching our tails trying to figure out about Mr. Proudfoot, if this kid, this child is out there with his autism kicking in, giving him problems, what's going to happen? The likely scenario, Joe Scott, as we're spinning our wheels on Proudfoot.
yeah, if this is, we're talking about Hendersonville, Tennessee, Nancy, which is 10 miles outside of Nashville, but really quickly up there, that area becomes very rural. And so if he has wandered off or been taken off in any number of directions, his ability or survivability is greatly diminished here. And what the police are doing right now is, if you think about the last known location of him, that's the center of the target. And they're working from concentrically to eccentrically. They're moving out in these big circles, but it's such a broad, densely wooded area. This is a Herculean task, to say the least. I think that some of the answers are going to rest in the idea that whoever had control over him, his comings and goings. We're talking about a kid that has been diagnosed with autism. Whoever had control over his comings and goings, their electronics need to be tracked, Nancy. Those ideas of where did they go at those times when he was last seen alive? And that's going to be one of the threads that you're going to want to pull in this investigation.
Cheryl McCollum, host of Zone 7, is a forensic expert, as you know, Joe Scott Morgan, death investigator. Cheryl, you've had quite a lot to say online.
Yeah, someone was mentioning deodorant, and deodorant is horrible. Most deodorant is horrible for you. It has been linked to dementia and Alzheimer's, the heavy aluminum that is in there, especially the clinical. Nobody needs clinical deodorant. Nobody. I don't care if you sweat like a cow. You don't need it. I use Lumi. That's what I use. I use Lumi. So if you make sure you use a deodorant, I don't use deodorant. It causes cyst. Yeah, it can cause cyst. It's aluminum. Um, and try the Lumi. Try the Lumi. Some of the natural ones I don't like, but the Lumi I like. I really like it.
What about now? Cat got your tongue? Because I don't like that. You're pretty bold
No,
when nobody's questioning you. But what about
no,
now? I want to hear your analysis.
here's my problem. They're statements. You've got inconsistencies. As soon as somebody changes their story at all, they should become the focus. Period. Mom has said different things. Now you've got a stepdad that looks like he's co-signing with everything that she says, but he allegedly wasn't there. So how can he agree with anything that she's saying? You've got mom saying she heard a thud. I don't like that word. That sounds like a body hitting the floor. When people use the word thud, that's not sounded like he hit the wall, sounded like something
No, it's
dropped.
never a good thing. It's usually preceded by an adjective, sickening, a sickening thud.
Right. And Nancy, you've got other things. You've got mom saying he went to the end of the driveway to put out the trash. And then you've got law enforcement searching a landfill. They're searching lakes, they're searching ponds. If you're watching and paying attention to law enforcement, it does not seem to me that they are looking to recover a child alive.
I believe that. I really do believe that. Yeah. They have different scents of Lumi. They have an unscented. This is the lavender sage, and then they have like tangerine. They have lime.
They are searching for remains. You and I both know, and Joe Scott knows, when a child goes missing, the first 3 hours are critical.
I agree, Rach.
We're at 6 weeks. 6 weeks that this child has not been seen or heard from.
Okay,
6
hold on.
weeks
Why are you saying, Cheryl McCollum, that you believe they don't expect to find Sebastian alive based on
You can put
their
it
actions? I'm
anywhere.
talking about LA law enforcement.
They're searches. They're searching landfills, lakes, ponds. That is not indicative of somebody that is alive. And again, you've got a child that has gone 6 weeks without his medicine, 6 weeks without food that we know of. He didn't have a source, no shoes. And mama herself says, oh, a flashlight's missing. Again, that's such an odd thing for her to know is missing until they show her video that looks like a flashlight. And then the stepdad says, well, we were sure hoping it was, but we're sad to report it wasn't a flashlight. Well, if you've got 2 flashlights out there, why are you glad that it's not that? That
I worked in an aluminum die cast plant, and now I have Parkinson's. I'm so sorry, Cheryl. Aluminum, too much of it is. It'll do it. It'll do it.
that to me would signify that somebody was out there in the wee hours of the morning with 2 flashlights, meaning 2 separate people, the night your child went missing. I mean,
Angela, that's an interesting question. We've all asked that. Do you know if the 3-hour phone call is a usual thing? I mean, is it normal for Chris and Katie to talk 3 hours after being married for so long? I don't think so, in my opinion. But, that's something that they're going to have to, pull their phone records and see. We're not going to know that. They say it's normal for them to talk 3 hours. I mean, how does someone talk 3 hours every night? Now, when you're first getting, when you're a new relationship and you're first getting to know each other and you're in that, love honeymoon stage, right? Yeah, 3 hours is nothing. But remember, he was at work at 5:15 the next morning. If they were off the phone and everything by 12, and that means he probably didn't get to sleep till 1 o'clock, and he is there at 5:15 and he didn't have to be at work till 7 in the morning. Why are you showing up an hour and 45 minutes early when you could have been sleeping? Something is off, my friends. Something is off.
it's just
Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I'm into long-term relationships, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit that bell to all so you won't miss anything as well. Don't want to miss something. We're all the time live.
What
They
do you
claim they
make of a 3-hour conversation held between Mrs. Proudfoot and Mr. Proudfoot the night Sebastian disappears?
The 3-hour phone call bothers me because, again, that's a long time to be on the phone. And, you're hearing your son supposedly, he's answering you supposedly during that time, but you don't go check on him at all. Did somebody leave their phone just on while they went and did something else? I don't know. But I agree with Joe Scott. The electronics are going to tell the story.
Yes, Gray. I put it under my boobs as well. I put it under my boobs as well. Yeah. You can put this anywhere. On your under your pits. Your boobs, your feet, and your brown chicken, brown cow.
When his mama first entertained the idea that somebody had him, what did she base that on? His phone's not missing. He didn't take shoes, didn't take
Crevices.
clothes, didn't take money, nothing on his cell phone, nothing on his computer says
Apron.
that he's been talking to anybody. I mean, she's entertaining something that we have no facts for.
Well,
We
I'm
have no
concerned about and you're right. Whenever I hear inconsistent statements, as I've discussed many, many times in front of juries, it's one thing to add or embellish your original statement because
Thank
maybe
you,
you
my
weren't
dear.
asked the right questions first time around. Maybe you remembered something in addition, triggered by questions. But when you change your story, that's a problem. To Joe Scott Morgan joining us, Professor Jackson.
How long have they been married? 6 years? Right. 6 years or something to that effect. I still think Chris gave an ultimatum, perhaps.
Jamie.
Clutch your pearls. Hello.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm disgusted. This whole thing is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors as far as I'm concerned. But I do have a theory of what may have happened.
Let's hear it.
Well, we know that Sebastian was sleeping in the garage.
Well, I mean, we don't technically know that. We think it's that's a speculation, to be fair.
Well, the neighbor apparently saw it, and Chris mentioned that he does it because he doesn't like to smell urine.
Right.
So anyway, my theory is this: he was sleeping in the garage. It was February in Tennessee. It gets chilly. And what if he got up and went to his mother's car and turned the car on for heat and became overcome with carbon monoxide? And Kate found him. It was too late, but they had to do a cover-up because of all the abuse. And the best thing to do was to concoct a story that he left.
See, I don't think they would have to cover it up because of. Well, I mean, I guess, I think they would cover it up because he was in the garage, right? Just simply because he was in the garage. How are you going to explain a child sleeping in the garage?
Why would you make a child sleep in the garage?
Exactly.
In February.
Exactly.
And then it goes back to Chris. CPS already has a laundry list, right?
Yes.
And I mean, they will investigate it if that is the case.
And I think Chris has probably threatened Katie 1 inch from her life to keep her mouth shut and to go along with the story. But I think for me, that's a plausible explanation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure Katie is guilty of actually harming him. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I do know that, obviously she goes along with Chris, which does make her guilty because, she allows it.
Absolutely. Now, in that, theory, she would have had to keep the keys in the car, I suppose, right?
Right. And a lot of people in the country do, and it's a locked garage.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that would not be an issue. Now, I live in Florida in a, metropolitan area. My keys are never in my car.
Right.
But it's different when you live out in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, that may be a plausible explanation. I'm just throwing that out there. It's pure speculation. But,
Absolutely.
I think it could be possible.
It absolutely could be. It absolutely could be. I believe something happened. Now, what? I don't know. But something happened in that house, in my opinion. That kid did not walk out on his own, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think he walked out of the house, period.
Right. I don't either.
He was taken out. And they had plenty of time to, depending on when she found him, if that was the case, or if she hurt him, depending what time of the day or night. They had plenty of time to,
Yes.
talk to Mississippi or wherever.
And Peach Cobbler says, when there's an accident, you call 911. Yes, you do normally call 911 when it's an accident. But when you're neglecting or abusing, and you can get in trouble for the neglect, the abuse, the crime that you committed against the child that resulted in their death, then that is a different story, right? That's a different story. And that is why many times an accident may have occurred, but it was an accident intentional because of the way the child was treated. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that little boy went through hell the second Chris Proudfoot came into their lives. I see her as a very needy person, needing to be taken care of, somebody with some money, and she's willing to put up with all of that and the abuse to have that little bit what she thinks may be security. We think it's crazy, but, people are, their minds just, their thought process just aren't right sometimes.
Right.
And whatever reasons, there's many reasons behind that.
Absolutely.
So,
there can be a lot.
I just thought I would share my little theory with you, and I haven't been a member very long, and I'm so glad I found your show.
Oh, well, thank you, dear. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. And thank you for calling in, sharing your theory.
Have a beautiful day.
You too, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. That is very nice. That is pretty very tough. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right here. And Emos Liz says this case is a big of a crap show, as well as the Wells case. I'm losing hope. I'm afraid. Thank you so much for your donation there, Emma Liz. And I understand. It literally, very sweet caller. It literally feels like the Wells 2.0. Both in Tennessee, both under extremely seedy circumstances, right? Doesn't make sense. The parents don't look neither sets of the parents, and they come from two different sides of the tracks, right? Don and Candace, and Katie and Chris and Seth, they come from different parts of the tracks, different sides, and none of them are looking for them. Sabrina, thank you so much, my dear. Sabrina, hello, Justin, mods friends. I've missed y'all. Thank you, Sabrina. Good to see you. Thank you for calling. Clutch them pearls. How can I help you? Hello?
Hello, Justin.
Hello, love. How are you?
This is Marie.
Hi, Maurice. We get to hear your beautiful voice.
How are you, darling?
I'm well. How are you?
Love the show.
Aw, thank you.
I had to call. I didn't think my number would work with you, so I was giving it a go.
There we go. Well, I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. What is your theory on this?
Oh my gosh. It's too convoluted for me to even wrap my brain around, I think, right now.
Uh-huh.
But I just had one thought a long time ago, and I've sort of stuck to it, which is the presence of Chris's mother. Not
People are saying they're having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, really? Sorry, I'm probably talking to away from the phone. The two cars that are similar, the mother and Katie's car.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered with it having been seen in the vicinity of the house and everything, if there was a swap of cars and this was premeditated.
Swap
That
of
makes
cars.
sense. Yeah, like her car, like Katie's car with the mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
whoever she is, and her car with Katie, and Katie pushing Sebastian in her car, and then swapping cars when they went at 6, when she went to look for him at 6 o'clock.
There could have been something like that, or they could have used some type of older work car for like their construction business or whatever.
Yeah, they sure could have. I was just thinking that the possibility with the cars being so similar that they couldn't be identified as who belongs to which car at that time, of the morning especially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, just a thought. There are so many theories that, I think we'll get buried in rabbit holes if we try to figure this all out.
Oh God, there's been a lot of rabbit holes, and there's been a lot of intentional rabbit holes, I think, as well, to confuse people.
Yes, and absolutely. So I think that's the main thing Chris does. What he does is just to deflect everything and to cause distraction, so no one can sort of keep a focus on any real theory behind all of this. But, who knows? I think each case seems to get worse and more disgusting as we go along. So, I don't know. I'm fast thinking about moving out of Tennessee when I get back. Going to another state.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Too much. We can bang our heads against the wall like all the other cases that have developed later on our ears down the track with all this nonsense. So, but unfortunately, it's a poor child that's involved, and what do we do with the information we all have, which is different opinions, ideas, and BS comments and all sorts. So anyway, we can't really do much other than pray and hope and wish that Sebastian is alive and hopefully somewhere,
I
So
pray. I pray, Maurice.
yeah,
You
I'll
know,
let you go, darling. I'm sure other people are going to line up, and it was wonderful talking to you. And hello to everyone
thank you, my
over
love.
there. And talk soon. Take care,
Thank you,
darling.
beautiful. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye bye. Bye bye. That is Maurice calling all the way from the land down under. From the land down under. Thank you for calling.
Hey, Justin, this is Tasha Ray.
Hey, Tasha, how are you doing?
Oh, quite all right. I'm just watching the show, of course.
Awesome. Thank you for watching.
I was wondering, because I haven't heard a lot about, remember the most recent video that came out? I believe it was like, it looked like some people kind of standing in front of either the garage or on the back porch, and some commotion was going on.
No.
No?
It's
been about like 4 days, maybe.
Did anyone see that in chat?
I believe so.
I haven't seen it personally, but I mean, it may have. The ruckus video.
Yeah, there's like a ruckus kind of. Well, it's kind of hard to make out the figures.
The ruckus. The
Looks
night.
like a ruckus is kind of.
Oh,
yeah, the night you went missing. You know what I'm talking
gotcha,
about?
gotcha. The night video where it looks like there's a struggle.
Yes.
Gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
I haven't heard anything else about it, and so I was kind of wondering whatever came of that.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They are saying that video is a that is a trash truck, and those are floodlights or whatever type of lights that are fixed on people's homes. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. And I've not believed that since the beginning. That is one thing that I do not believe, that is some just trash trucks. Seth, he does say that is trash trucks, and he said it's, without a doubt, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't know what that video is, in my opinion, but I don't believe that is just some damn trash trucks.
I don't either.
And Nick Barris,
Yeah,
he
it's
said the
very
same
disturbing.
thing. He said the same thing. He said they look like people to me, figure A and figure B, but he disagrees. He's like, it's clearly not a trash truck, and I don't think I've never seen a trash truck that looked even remotely like that.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, I definitely, I do feel like, Miss Katie and Mr. Chris, I feel like they know more than they're definitely telling. That's just my opinion, of course. And then now, that we're seeing him act out with these jokes and playing games on YouTube, that's very concerning, because this is not a funny matter whatsoever.
There's nothing funny about this.
No, not at all. And I hope the law is paying attention, and looking in the directions that we're all kind of raising our eyebrows at,
I mean, I don't see how anybody couldn't look at that and be like, what the hell? You know, I mean, maybe if he called his friend and acted like that privately is one thing, but you're calling in on a show that is talking about your missing stepchild, which is a serious topic, and you're doing that in front of the public. That's a different it just hits different, right? It's if he I mean, nobody's saying that they have to be crying and wailing 100% of the time, but there also has to be, if you're saying that you want YouTubers and TikTokers and all of them to stop messing around, well, you're doing the same thing, sir, and this is your stepchild. You're the one misbehaving uh quite effectively. So
Well, yeah, and who does it remind you of? You know?
Don Wells, it reminds me of, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very alarming.
Yeah. I mean, it's just something that I can't imagine. I don't know if you're a parent or not, but having children, I can't imagine calling into a show and pretending I am someone else and to make people laugh or throw people off or whatever. It's so bizarre.
Who would even be thinking of that? There would be so many other things that would be a priority,
Yes.
or that should be priority.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not right.
It's not. It's not. I don't know. I don't know. I just think Sebastian had a hell of a time in that house.
Yeah, that's the really sad thing, isn't it?
It is.
Just to think about the life that he had to lead, you know?
Yeah, kids should not have to struggle like that in their own home. A home for your children is supposed to be a safe place, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, your home is supposed to be, your oasis, right? It is your refuge, the place that you are most comfortable. And you want your children to have good memories of their childhood, good memories of their home, not chaos that ensues probably in the Proudfoot home. So I agree. So
Well, I will go ahead and let you go, but I wanted to say thank you for all you do. And I'm over here watching. I'm also a content creator, by the way. I do nails. So, and I'm always loving your nails.
What's your channel?
It's Tasha Ray Nailed.
Tasha Ray Nails. Mods, find her channel and we'll drop your link there.
Well, thank you. But if you ever want to chit chat and have someone on, I would love to join you.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I just absolutely love your nails. If you ever come to Dallas, you'll have to let me.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, my family's all in Texas. All my family's in Texas, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I come a lot. So I might do that one day.
All right. Well, keep working hard for these kids, and I will be over here watching. I try to do a little nail time, crime time on my little thing too, but
that's nice.
I'm like a tiny channel, so.
Well, that's how we all start out. I never thought I would have as many subscribers as I do. I didn't think anybody would listen to me. So
I remember when you first started. I was watching.
Yeah,
I've been watching all of a lot of people, a lot of you guys. I remember when you just first came on.
Yeah.
You've just done amazing and grown so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. All right.
All right. Have a
Oops.
good day, okay?
You too, my love. Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. All right. Thank you so much, caller. Very kind. Very, very kind caller. Where's my buttons? That's awesome.
Call from Brenda.
Let me see here.
Let's press 1 to send a voice.
Clutch your pearls and get your tea kettle. Hello.
Hey, Justin, how you doing, my love?
Good. How are you, dear?
I'm doing fine. It's your buddy in Wisconsin, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda. How you doing, love?
Sitting at the hospital waiting for that man to get done with his surgery.
Oh.
He'll be all right, though.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's,
But I'm sitting inside in the heat.
yeah, sitting in the hospital's no fun, is it?
No. But what in the heck is Chris trying to prove by imitating her, doing a voice change, playing games, when his stepson's missing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question.
I've been following you and Dolly and Bullhorn Betty and JLR since the summer. Well, actually, since Gabby Petito.
Yeah.
I've been following you all.
Wow.
And this has turned into another Summer Wales. This case has.
It has, but I hope it doesn't continue to be a Summer Wells, right?
I'm hoping that
yeah, maybe it starts out like this, but hopefully soon. But I just don't know if they're going to find something.
he doesn't know what to do, where to turn. He doesn't. He's what did I say that word was earlier? Confused. Yeah, he's just so confused. He don't know which way to turn. I feel so sorry for Seth. I wish there was something I could do to help that man. But he needs to get rid of that guy he's got right now.
You think
he should
so?
have let them two women, because they was doing a good job. They was connecting with the police.
Yeah.
And everything. Hell, even Nancy Grace thinks this guy's a joke.
I know a lot of people don't care for this new guy. Based upon I guess his past is what they're saying or something.
I don't care about everybody's got a pass, honey.
Right.
Everybody's got a pass. Ain't nobody perfect.
Sure.
Everybody makes mistakes. And that's not even what I'm looking at. This child's been missing over 2 months. He doesn't know the players he even said it, words out of his mouth. I'm just now learning the players in the game. This ain't no fucking game. The child is missing.
Right.
This is not a game.
You're right. You're right. This is definitely not a game.
That are private investigators that do know what they're doing. He needs to get rid of this man and let that man go back to whatever he was doing, because he doesn't know nothing, and get this ball rolling again. This is about Sebastian, period.
Yes.
It's not about Seth. It's not about them other two. And I damn sure ain't going to call that one a sir. I won't do it.
Yeah.
Justin, I can't, honey.
I understand.
He ain't no man.
I understand.
He ain't no man.
I don't know how
Not
anybody can whip someone that has autism or a mental condition. I don't get it.
My husband that I had children with,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't let touch my kids.
Yeah.
Justin, I'd hurt him.
Right. No, I understand.
He thinks that I've got a daughter that was born with a cleft lip and palate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she had over 99 surgeries by the time she was 18. She had her first one when she's 3 months old. They done her lip.
Wow.
Well, I babied her more.
Sure.
You know, I babied. Yeah, I did. I babied her more.
Right. She needed
I
more
was
attention.
more protective of her and everything. You
Yeah.
know, she had problems.
Right.
And, well, she didn't want to go to sleep one night. She's in her baby bed rocking back and forth crying, wanting out. Where daddy get up to go spank her, and I jumped up out of bed and got my baby and looked him right in the eye. If you ever lay a hand on my child,
Yeah.
I said, I'll kill you, Marvin. Point blank, I'll kill touching my kids. I had these babies. They come out of me.
Right.
You want to beat on a kid, you have your kid. You ain't beating on mine.
Right. Yeah.
And I wouldn't. He never, ever laid a hand on any of our kids. Never.
Yeah.
He knew I was a crazy Kentucky woman at the time. He knew better than to mess with me. Kentucky women don't play, Justin. I'm serious.
I know.
Kentucky women will not play with you. They just soon put a cast iron skillet upside your head and look at you.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody knows Kentucky women are crazy.
Hey, I come from Appalachia. I know what I know what it's like.
So you know how us women not to do it.
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do.
We're crazy.
That's
But
right.
we're crazy for a good reason.
Yeah, that's right.
We ain't mental crazy, but we are mental crazy over our kids.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think that's what we're supposed to do,
I'd hurt anybody over my kids.
My mother thought she was
Yeah.
supposed to beat the shit out of me.
But I want to thank you for what you're doing, sweetheart. You keep up your good work, and I love you. And I'll keep watching you, sweetheart. And God bless you and your family.
Thank you, my
Keep
love.
you all safe.
Thank you, my love. Thank you for calling.
Bye, love.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was a very sweet call. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, Marlene, I saw that. I sure did. My ex-boyfriend slapped my 7-year-old daughter. He left my home in cuffs and never came back. I've been single 4 years now. Right. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. Can you imagine? My God. I just cannot imagine anyone laying their hands on, like if you got divorced or you split up or whatever and you got in a new relationship, there ain't no man, no woman gonna touch my kids. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Our grandson's stepfather slapped him in the face, and after he left in handcuffs, he's now spending 3 years in the Arkansas penitentiary. That's right. You just don't touch anybody's kids. You just don't. Chris won't go back and face Nancy Grace. He'll go all out on these YouTube channels and disguise his voice and lie. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go back on Nancy Grace. I don't think so. She was sweet, wasn't she, Brenda? Went off on. He did, Joe. Uh-oh. I made my date leave when he kicked my cat. Oh my God, what a date. What a date. I've been out of here. Sorry, mother chicken. Bye. Bye, Felicia. I mean, listen, if there is some, as much as we talk about evil, step parents, right? There is some amazing step parents out there as well. And if you have, if you have married or uh, you're dating or whatever your situation is, and you have kids and they love your kids like their own, consider yourself extremely fortunate. If you kick my cat, I'm kicking your ass. That's right. That is exactly right. Don't hurt any animals. Don't hurt any kids. Don't hurt anything that can't fend for themselves or is not in equal strength as you are. Pick on someone your own size, as they say, right? Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. My boys have an amazing bonus mom. I love her for loving them. That's amazing, Mel. That's amazing because that's the way it absolutely should be. Oh my God, you touched my dog. It's on. Yeah. My life, my choice says prank call was to distract Seth for passing his lie detector test. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's finish this up right
Jacksonville
here.
State University. Joe Scott, let's look at where the searches are being conducted.
Yeah.
We know the law enforcement search has been scaled back. I want to hear, since you are a death investigator, we all three have been on many, many searches for missing people and who we believe to be dead. I want to hear your analysis. What can we glean from looking at what law enforcement is doing?
Back to Cheryl's point about landfills and ponds. Ponds, or water bodies of water. You can think that, well, you have people that can um, just wander into these locations. Okay, particularly somebody that might be in a compromised state, like this young man, from a mental and a physical status at this point in time. But when you start to talk about landfills, Nancy, this is a rather dark.
Green eyes, that's true. There is a high demand right now for foster. It is needed more than ever. They are begging
Dark thing.
almost
I've
at this
been to
point.
landfills multiple times conducting death investigations. And those are locations where we're talking about the discarding of remains. Now, here's another interesting point: the fact that the landfill is all the way up
You
in
mean he didn't
Kentucky.
just walk into a landfill and fall over?
No, and certainly not in Kentucky. This is specifically targeted. Now, from my understanding, is that landfill is used to surf it or serve this.
Exactly. Why, in the beginning of this case, are they looking at a landfill? Are they thinking that he is alive even in the very beginning? There is no way in God's green earth that Sebastian would have gotten himself in a landfill in Kentucky. That is not possible. It's not. So, was it just as a precaution? No, I don't think it was just as a precaution. I don't think so. Because that cost a lot of money to go to another state and dig through a landfill. I think they were looking for something, or they were looking for Sebastian, but I can't imagine them just going there and saying, "Oh, well, they said the trash was extra heavy. Might want to look there." They're going to have more than that, in my
Particular
opinion, to
area. And
check
landfills
it.
are very complex environments. They're gridded off. Essentially, they know where they're going to do dumpings. It's not like they randomly go into these locations and just back the truck up. They go to specific locations. But with landfills, they're highly complex, they're layered. And so as you begin to stack items in there, they then run over them with this heavy equipment, and it makes the going very, very tough. As a matter of fact, anything that gets in there begins to degrade and decompose very quickly. That's the purpose of it. And so that is not a good sign, Nancy. And the fact that they are searching a landfill is rather ominous to me.
Yes.
Nancy, I want to
To
jump in
Dave
here real
Mack.
I mean, look at the area here that they are searching. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's very rare to find someone in a landfill, even if you know that they are in there. When little Quentin Simon was being searched for, they gave about a 5% chance of finding him. But FBI did not give up, and they looked and looked and looked and continued looking until that 5% became 100%, and that they found little Quentin Simon. What a case.
At
Rick, I don't want to be
crimeonline.
rude.
No,
but
I was just coming to you because I wanted to talk to you,
sorry.
Dave Mack, on 2 issues and whatever else you want to interject.
Right.
Please, I need everybody's thoughts. One, I want to get from you any previous inconsistent statements as correctly stated by Cheryl McCollum, and 2, allegations that Sebastian, this autistic boy, was molested have emerged. Let's start with the inconsistent statements very quickly.
From the very beginning, Nancy, Chris Proudfoot made statements in interviews online claiming he actually said somebody asked the question, was a polygraph taken and has it been passed? Yes, I didn't specify who or when, but what I can tell you, everything has been vetted completely. Polygraphs have come back as passed. So I'm confused as in why they are all wondering if myself, my wife, and the biological father took. Okay, we know that's a lie. We know that is absolutely a lie because of what he told you on your
Wait,
show.
you're saying that that's what Proudfoot said, that he had taken a polygraph, he and his
Word
wife,
for
and
word.
had been, quote, vetted. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, he
He
did
has.
say that on a podcast. Go ahead.
Okay, and then we also have the belt. We have hitting Sebastian with the belt. I don't know if you caught this, but when Seth Rogers was on your show last week when we were talking about the belt, he started crying. I saw later Seth referred to it as he wasn't aware of the corporal punishment that Chris Proudfoot was handing out to his son, to Seth Rogers' autistic son, and
No,
he
not
pointed out that
searching.
he Proudfoot.
They have not searched the landfill anymore that I am aware of, but we was not supposed to know that they were searching the landfill in Kentucky. It got out. That is something, as Chris would say, we were not supposed to be pervy to.
Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Even a fly, and he's like, oh! Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. Even a fly, and he's like, oh!
Oh! Oh, thank you, Susan B. That is so sweet of you, my love. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Fan always heart. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you. That's very, very sweet, my dear. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Look at his eyes. Yeah, something is up.
Claimed it was years ago, and it was one spank with the belt on his butt, but through.
I mean, he had to be tired going to bed at 12, meaning he was probably asleep by 1. And if he was at the job site at 5:15, that means he had to probably be up by what, 4:30 after, waking up, probably grabbing coffee or whatever, and then driving to work and being seen there at 5:15. I mean, he only got a few hours of sleep. Something's wrong, guys.
Clothing.
I
This
don't see how
makes no
anybody
sense to
can't see
anyone
that.
in the
Some
history
they
of
can't see
mankind or
that.
any teacher at school that they would actually look into something through clothing like that. But they couldn't remember when, how long ago it was. And in another interview, he said 15, which means it had to have been in the last several months. So we've got a number of
Didn't
serious issues here.
Sebastian turn 15 in December?
Correct. And it went missing February 26th.
So if he was 15 when he got a whack with a belt, that would have been in the last few months just before he disappears. So which one is true? Was it 3 years ago or was it when he was 15 years old? Another question. Allegations that Sebastian was molested have now emerged. What can you tell us?
From Seth Rogers. Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, said that
I really believe that's from trauma. Him using
when the Proudfoots, when
the bathroom
Katie
like
and
that.
Chris Proudfoot and
And
Sebastian were living
Chris, he
in an
doesn't
apartment in
like to do
California
it either.
several years.
Sabrina, Michelle.
Thank you for calling. Clutch your pearls.
Hey there, Justin. This
Hi.
is Sabrina.
Hey, Sabrina. How are you, dear?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to call in and tell you that I've missed you guys. I've been working crazy hours, but
Oh,
I still try to listen as often as I can. But
we miss
God
you.
bless you. You just do wonderful work.
Thank you.
And I've never called in, so I just thought that I'd call and let you know how much I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. We've missed you, dear, and I know it seems like all we do is work or clean. That's all I do. That's what I'm like, working or cleaning. That's about it. So I understand.
How are your kids? Y'all doing all right?
Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Thank God. Thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad. And I don't have a commentary on the case. I just wanted to, real quick, just call in and let you know that you're appreciated.
Oh, well, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. And hopefully you'll see me sooner rather than later.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you, love. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Justin.
All right. All
Bye
right.
now.
Bye-bye. Bye. What a sweet call. Sabrina's very sweet person. Just a genuine soul. As all my people here are.
Years ago,
They're all amazing. You all
that
are.
Katieproudfoot allowed a boy that was 5 years older than Sebastian to play with Sebastian, and the boy was 13. Sebastian was 8 at this time. She allowed it. Seth Rogers said that Katieproudfoot allowed a 13-year-old boy to play with Sebastian, who is 8, without any kind of involvement from Katieproudfoot, and that during the time, this 13-year-old molested and raped Sebastian Rogers.
Oh, that makes my stomach hurt. Thank you, Direct Current. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for your support. Thank you, love. That's okay, my dear. That's okay. Thank you for being here. I really think something happened in December. Chris will not talk about it. He says it's a private family matter. And I just think something happened in December when Faith was there with Sebastian. My daughter peed the bed until 11. Her doctor said it was hereditary. Never heard hereditary. That's Orange Wedge.
The more we investigate.
Thank you for your persistence on this case. Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. Appreciate you. Well, that kid is supposed to be not a kid anymore. From what I understand, I think the kid is over 18 now, but nothing was really done to the child that at the time that I'm aware of, but hopefully they're not out there harming anyone else. I pray not anyways, but um if he is, there's a reason why RSOs or just S offenders, they don't get better. They are incapable of getting better. They only get worse. Period. They only get worse. They have to be on the offender list if they have done something.
The murkier the facts become. This is what I know. Every day, literally every hour that Sebastian Rogers is missing is 1 hour closer to him being dead. Can we tune out all the static and the noise and try to focus on finding this autistic boy? And to you, Mr. Proudfoot, our offer is still on the table.
Offer is still on the table, Mr. Proudfoot. Offer is still on the table. And why you have not taken that is the question. It's not even so much for me as about the results. It's just that why haven't you taken it? You said you've taken one for TBI. A polygraph is a polygraph. It doesn't matter who takes it, or not who takes it, who gives it. They are all certified in doing that. So there's that. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being here on the afternoon show. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me. I will be back later this evening, approximately anywhere from 5 to 7 o'clock this evening. Make sure you check in the next couple hours, and I'll have the live for this evening is up, and make sure you click for that. You'll be notified whenever we go live this evening, so you won't miss it. Make sure you hit that bell as well, so you'll be reminded of anything that we are doing. If you're on the J for A channel, make sure you subscribe to Clutch Them Pearls and our newest channel, Hey Sweet Tea. It's I do true crime on there, but I also do everything on there. It's my channel where I just talk about whatever I want to talk about, do whatever I want to do, and it's just more of a non-formal channel, if you will. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure you sub over there to Hey Sweet Tea, and hope you enjoy it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the mods, particularly in the members and chat. Thank you all so much. You're always so gracious. I have the best subscribers in the world, and the best mods, and the best people in general. Thank you, truly. I will see you guys later this evening. Appreciate your time.